thanks for coming out to check out today's video. This video is a liquid cap tutorial. This time, instead of using a frontal in bundles, I'm using a closure in bundles. This is the closure that came with the bundles that I got from samsbeauty.com. I don't like this closure at all, so I decided to actually use something else. I like the bundles though, they're really pretty and really soft, so I decided to just grab one of my old frontals and cut it into a closure, and I'm going to use that instead. So I'm going to start off this quick weave by applying the molding gel to my braids, and I just use a hair dyeing applicator brush because I don't want all that gel all over my fingers. And like I said, you don't need to have small braids. I just have like 8 really big braids going all through my head. I use a blow dryer to set the gel because I don't have a sit under dryer, but if you have a sit under dryer, you can do that as well. But you want to make sure that you dry each step of the liquid cap 100% completely dry before you move on. So then you go ahead and use the Weave Wonder, and if you guys want to purchase these products, I do have them linked down below. You can click and just purchase them there. So you go ahead and apply the Weave Wonder all over your head as well, and just make sure you get a nice good coating of that all over your braids. This is the actual protective layer that keeps the glue from penetrating into your hair. So again, just go ahead and use your dryer to set that. Grab a stocking cap, a wig stocking cap. I use one black one first. I sit it a little bit behind my hairline, and then I go ahead and use a tan one to sit on my hairline. But before I do that, I go ahead and add some Pump It Up spritz so that the black cap and the tan cap can stick to one another. It just helps so that the caps aren't like sliding around. Then you're going to add a little bit of Got To Be Glue gel right at your forehead, at your hairline. That's going to help the tan color cap, which is going to be like your basically your scalp color, to stick to your hairline. So go ahead and lay down your tan cap. That's basically going to be your scalp, and just go ahead and mush that gel down onto the cap. I'm not adding any extra gel. I'm just mushing the cap into the gel that's already there. Then you're going to go ahead and set that. Do not move on to the step of doing the glue until everything is completely dry. Please do not move on until it's 100% hard and dry. Then you're going to go ahead and grab your bonding gel. You're going to apply that to your closure. The first step you always want to do is your closure. Like I said, this is an old frontal that I just cut into a closure shape. So go ahead and put glue around the outside of the closure's edge. Then you're going to blow it dry a little bit so it gets tacky. Then you're going to go ahead and lay that down onto your hairline. And I actually put it just slightly in front of my hairline. And then I went ahead and started gluing in the quick weave. When you glue in your quick weave, make sure that you're laying your tracks in different places every time. You don't want the glue to start building up at one point on your quick weave. So you just want to make sure that you're laying your tracks in different places so that the glue is just not building up in one area of your quick weave. And I'll explain more what I mean at the end of this tutorial. But yeah, so you see how I laid that next track just slightly behind the track that I laid down first? So just make sure that you're laying the tracks just slightly behind or in a slightly different place than you placed the first track, because you don't want the glue to just keep building up in one area. It can make it a little more difficult to remove your liquid cap. And just continue to lay your tracks like you normally would for your quick weave. So next you're going to want to go ahead and cut away the excess of that tan cap. Be careful when you're cutting it away. I sort of just roughly cut it away in the beginning, and then I just get a little closer and cut it closer as I work. Then you're going to grab your Got to Be Glue gel. You're going to place a thin layer of that at your hairline. You're also going to add a little bit of hairspray, blow that dry, and then lay that closure down. I like to use a rat tail comb because if you use your fingers, a lot of times it will start to turn white because your fingers are touching the gel and the hairspray. So just try to use a rat tail comb and try not to touch it too much because it will turn the gel or the glue white. So then I just went ahead and added a little bit of eyeshadow powder. It's just a brown neutral eyeshadow powder that I just applied to blend in, you know, the lace. So then I just wanted to go ahead and work out the closure. It wasn't really laying the way I wanted it to. So I grabbed my flat irons and just laid the closure down. It's no special flat iron, it's just like a cheap one I got from the beauty supply store. Then I also grabbed my electric hot comb and I used that to lay down my parting section. I use a little bit of hairspray to lay down the flyaways on the closure because this closure is super old, so there were some flyaways on it. Then I decided to just make some real light baby hairs. I wasn't sure I wanted to do this step because sometimes I don't like to do the baby hairs, but I decided to go ahead and do it for this one. And I didn't use Got to Be Glued or any gel or any edge control. I just went ahead and used hairspray. And this is the finished look of this Closure and Bundles liquid cap. Thank you guys for watching. Now please stay tuned and I'll give you my thoughts on this hair and a quick Q&A on questions that you guys have about the liquid cap method. And I give you a lot of good tips at the end of this video. Hey you guys, so this is the hair. I know you guys just checked out the tutorial. I hope you guys liked this. The only downside to this hair is I feel like it's really thin and it's a little too thin for my liking, and I didn't like the closure either. So I have a few cons for this hair. Personally, it's too thin for me to leave this hair like this. So what I think I'm gonna end up doing is cutting it into a bob and probably curling it, and I think I'll be a little bit happier. So definitely stay tuned for that, and then at the end I will give you my final thoughts. like I said, I just really wanted to cut this hair. It was looking really thin to me, but a great way to fix your style if you feel like it looks thin, you can always cut it, because oftentimes it's the ends of the hair that's looking thin and feeling thin. So if you give it more of a blunt cut, it will have the appearance of looking and feeling thicker. So I definitely feel like cutting it sort of saved this look for me. Overall, this hair, I would give this hair probably a 6 out of 10. I'm not that happy with it, unfortunately, but and as a bob, I definitely think that it's a win. I just hate the fact that I got longer lengths only to just cut it. So if you were to get this hair, I would definitely suggest getting the shorter lengths and styling it in a bob, and that way you get your money's worth and you'll end up with a really cute style. Hopefully you enjoyed this liquid cap tutorial. I definitely wanted to show you guys how I do it using a closure instead of a frontal like I used last time. So hopefully it's helpful. I know a couple of you guys were asking how to remove the liquid cap. The easiest way to remove it is just hop in the shower, drench your whole head with water, just, you know, slowly peel it away. I made it a point to add a lot more of the molding gel. Do not skip that step. If you're going to use my tutorial, do not skip the molding step, and do not begin applying any glue onto your head until your head is completely dry. Otherwise, the protective liquid cap will not work. So a lot of people were saying, oh, my hair is too thin to do the liquid cap method. It pulls my hair out. It doesn't matter if your hair is thick or thin. What matters is if you're following the steps properly and you're actually doing the liquid cap method the correct way. You have got to let each part of the liquid cap set and become hard. Otherwise, it's not going to be a protective barrier for your head. Another thing that some people were can be doing wrong is overly applying too much glue to your tracks. If you're applying a whole lot of glue to your tracks, it's unnecessary. It's not necessary. This is a style that only will last you maybe a month or so, and you know, whether you add more glue or less glue, like adding a whole bunch of globs of glue is not going to make the style last longer than a month. You know, it's just not. Make sure you just add a thin layer of glue and keep it moving. Another thing that sometimes can cause issues is if you keep applying tracks to the same area over and over again. Hopefully you saw, like when I was applying my quick weave, I was applying my tracks in different places so that it wasn't a bunch of built up glue right at the front of my hairline. A lot of times people will apply their tracks, they'll bring every single track to the front of their hairline. So that means that here at the front of your hairline, you have glue on top of glue, tracks on top of tracks applied to that same location on your head. So the glue is just penetrating further and further into your head, into your liquid cap. So that could cause problems as well when you're trying to remove it. It's not so much that the glue has seeped down into your hair, is that the glue is stuck so tightly because there's so many layers of glue and tracks right in that same location. So what I make sure to do is apply, you know, tracks in different places so that the glue is not just building up. So I do tracks here, then I'll start to apply tracks going this way, then I'll start to apply tracks coming all the way around, you know, so that there's not just built up glue in the same place. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, I'll try to explain it in some other way. Give me a thumbs up if this video was helpful, if you learned something new. Share it with a friend if you feel like this is a great way for them to try a style. I hope you guys are enjoying these tutorials. My goal in 2018 is to bring you guys more tutorials and not just wig reviews. Wig reviews can get a little repetitive and sometimes they get a little not as exciting. So hopefully these tutorials will help to bring new life to Jess the Dragoness channel. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I have so much more to show you guys, and thanks for watching.